Robin and Elijah, we've separated you in a sort of Jennifer sandwich because we were worried they might be slightly sick of the sight of each other.
I was just thinking
because you have been together for some time now.
We've been doing the voices for Happy Feet. Like we record all together in the same room, which is kind of wonderful.
But that's really unusual, isn't it, to all be together?
Yeah, I guess, because I mean, I forgot that when I did Aladdin, I was alone in the room, and then the first day, I said, "Do you mind if I try something?" And they went, "Oh, sure, fine." And then 23 hours later, they have 40 different characters. But it was like,
wow.
But it was this weird thing of most of the time you're alone and you're recording, and usually the director's someplace else, either New York or Australia, and it's like bad phone sex with NASA. We get it. But when you're together in the same room, it's a blast because you get to play off each other, which is wonderful.
Because you did Shrek 2?
Shrek 2.
Well, did you get to meet anybody? No.
Nobody.
No.
Not until the junket.
And they wouldn't even let you do a voice, would they? They just...
Well, I tried a few.
Oh.
But this is sort of what it ends up as.
And Elijah, apparently you noticed that Robin got quite warm in Australia while working.
Crazy. I mean, you're just doing a voice, but because you're working together, I was sweating more than Marlon Brando after a Mexican meal. It's just you get really worked up because you are full contact doing the voice, playing off each other. And plus, we had all these great comedians, all these the Los Amigos Pingüinos. They're all like Carlos Alvarez, Johnny Sanchez, Lombardo Boyar. They're all these Latin comics who are great. And you play off each other and you riff and you start to build a rhythm, which is great.
But is it true you sort of nearly passed out when you were doing Lovelace?
Yeah, I started to... I was just kind of kidding. Because Lovelace is, you know, part preacher, part pimp. I started doing this kind of... George is always there to go, no, don't be afraid, Robin, go, do it. And all of a sudden I realised, oh, no, I'm going to pass out. He'll have a great time. But he lets you go, and you start riffing, and he would do stuff. He would just play, and then George would go, no, that's great, do it.
But do you worry about that? Because, I mean, you had a heart operation.
I had heart surgery. I have a cow valve, which is great because I can crap standing up now. But the surgery, once you have the surgery, you have to take it slow. It's weird. I can't eat meat because you're one of them. Yeah, it's like, no, I have a cow? No, you're part cow, bastard.
Do you have to pace yourself? I mean, not to be indiscreet, but on the honeymoon, do you have to kind of think about
and Viagra is not your friend. No. After heart surgery, are you coming? No, I'm dying! No, you have to be very... Yeah, you do have to pace yourself.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, pace yourself. Yeah. Pace yourself. Are you ready, my dear? A bit of foreplay. That's enough, let's go. Are we ready? Shall we? Yes, let's go down there. How are we doing? Better? Good luck using any of that.
Despicable Me 3. And Stephen Christian, you return. I know, it's such a good film. Now, this one comes out next Friday, the 30th of June. So, first one, villain. Second one, love, between the two of you. Yeah. So, what happens this time?
Mixed bag.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in this one.
There are a lot of plots. We get fired from our job. I'm dealing with being a stepmom for the first time. He finds out he has a twin brother. The minions leave us.
And there's a villain who is stuck in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's really funny and good. I mean, it's sort of one of those... Because each time you must be kind of worried because the last one was so good.
I truly, with Illumination and with these films, there's no worry because they are just unbelievable writers and filmmakers. We're very lucky.
And sort of playing Lucy, I mean, how close to you is Lucy?
She has a lot more energy than I do.
There's a question there, Judy. Don't look at me like that. It's a perfectly valid question. She's answering it now. It's fine.
Yeah, she's a lot more caffeinated than I am. Yes.
Up.
She's very up. Oh. And sometimes when we would record, I would go in and, you know, you'd start the day and you have your headphones on, you have your water, and then you just start and they're like, okay, let's do that again. But can you not just be yourself and try to... Because you forget, you know, because you record, like, you know, we've recorded over the last 2 years. And it takes a long time. to make these movies. Yeah.
And to go back to it, do you have to listen to the voice again, or does it matter?
I just listen to the voices that are already in my head. No, we don't actually get to hear one another. We're completely alone, and the only sort of barometer you have are the people behind the glass in the control room. And you can't even hear them, so you just see if shoulders are shaking, if they're laughing. But otherwise, you're kind of in a vacuum.
So it's so weird that you star in all these films, but this is presumably the only time you meet is when you're selling the film.
Yeah, I didn't even know what she looked like.
We've been doing press for 2 days and we just made eye contact tonight.
Because in this, you play your own twin.
I play the twin brother as well.
He does sound subtly different.
It's him with hair. It's a more ebullient version of him. He's much lighter. Gru kind of sounds like this, and oh, there's my brother, I hate him. And Drew, his brother, is so excited to see you. That's basically
That can be so tiring to do that for a day. But it's not your first kind of Middle European accent. Didn't you do one for an audition?
Oh, I did an audition for the Dana Carvey show where I did a bit called the German Who Says Nice Things. So he would. So I don't know. I thought it would be funny to just stand in front of people and yell things with a German accent. I think one of them was, "Let's all pile into the minivan and get some frozen yogurt." It was a pleasure babysitting Kevin. You're not getting older. You are getting better.
Judy, have you done voice work in animation?
Only once.
Oh, which one?
Don't ask me that. Please don't ask me. About cows.
For 6 points.
About cows. What was it called? Yes, Home on the Range.
Yes.
Home on the Range.
Oh. Which one are you? Do you know?
Don't ask me. Mrs. Calloway, was I?
I don't know.
I don't either.
We have 3 on offer.
I don't think I... Yes.
One of them. One of them. You're one of them, and you were excellent. People talk of it still.
It came out before I had to go to Hollywood because of a nomination for the Oscars, and it was when Brokeback Mountain came out, and there was a lot of people walking up and down very, very cross with placards, and our car was stopped, and this man came up very, very angry, banging on the window with a placard saying "Homo on the Range." Wound the window. I said, "This is about cows."
Why are you so angry? That's so sweet. He must have been so confused.
I was confused.
Josh, when you come to do something like Frozen, you're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Was that character drawn? Was Olaf drawn already?
It's the first day you get there to record. I remember the directors saying 3 words to me: innocence, naivete, and love. Those were the 3 things that they said to me. And I immediately thought about my daughter, who was 2 years old. And the way she looked at me with this googly eyes was Olaf. Everything was a question, even when it wasn't a question. I love you. Can I get more food now? Like, it was like that kind of stuff. And that just seemed so right for that little guy. Like, this just sort of newfound, almost like Edward Scissorhands, like, you're new to the world.
And was it that daughter who then became obsessed by the movie?
Oh, yeah. She became unhealthily obsessed for a good couple of months. She once looked at me so weird. She was making all of these, like, grumbling noises in the playroom. And I go in and I go, "Ava, are you okay?" And she goes, "Daddy, walk away. My powers are too strong." I walked away and called the police. Yeah, I was like, wait, what? It's just so odd.
So funny.
My powers are too strong. Calling an exorcist.
When you were directing yourself, how hard was it as an actor not to do voices? Because that is kind of your life.
Yeah, I mean, it was less of a leap than I feared it would be. You know, during doing Family Guy, I had gotten into the habit of being able to record a line and then go into the booth and listen to it and switch off my brain and kind of feel like I'm listening to somebody else.
Yeah.
And that did kick in pretty early on into the process, where I was able to run into Video Village and look at the footage and see if I was doing it right.
Yeah.
You
How
know,
many
if I was
voices do
doing
you
it
do?
good.
Sorry, I don't mean to take over your
Family
interview, but I'm just
Family
kind
Guy,
of
I mean,
curious. Like, how many can you do? How many? Like, what's the?
You know, just enough to avoid being myself.
So in Family Guy, the characters you do
Peter, Brian, Stewie, Quagmire, and then a smattering of others as needed.
And are they all based on people, or you just?
They come from various places. Peter, I knew 1,000 Peter Griffins growing up in New England. I mean, guys who would not think before they spoke, like, no self-editing mechanism. Everything's in here, it's coming out here with no gateway. And Stewie is based on your own Rex Harrison, who I was a big fan of.
Wow.
Yeah.
And who else? Quagmire. Where's Quagmire from? That can't be a person.
Quagmire.
If it is, he's not happy.
No, he's a bad egg. Quagmire, when I was a kid, my father used to buy me old radio dramas from the 40s and 50s. And so I would listen to these things, and the commercials were intact. And you hear these old commercials, you know, Autolite brand spark plugs, the only spark plugs for you. And like everyone had this high-pitched voice, which I guess the mics were more sensitive to the mid-range voice at that time. And they all sounded like Quagmire, and so that kind of stuck with me. And when I was coming up with a voice for him, that he began as an impression of 1950s ad men.
And when you're doing, because you know those characters are in scenes together.
Yeah.
Do you do one line after the other, or do you all do all one and then go back and do the other one?
When I do a table read, yeah, I have to jump back and forth. Where it's like, hey, what's going on? Oh, hello, fat man. Oh, Stewie, how are you? It's back and forth. But,
it's good, right? That is good.
Terrific. That's terrific.
But then sometimes you do them separately.
Yeah, when I record the shows, I kind of literally do it one line at a time, just to make sure that I
But
have...
that's not really because of the voices, it's just because you have to be naked, completely naked for Brian.
Completely nude.
The essence of yourself.
Yeah.
Completely emotionally and physically nude.
Oh, can you do the cool whip thing?
The what?
The cool whip. I feel like Dance Monkey. I feel like I'm just got a big stick and go,
barking seal.
do the
I'm a barking seal, aren't I, Graham Norton? You know, you're an Irishman. You think these people accept you as one of their own, but they don't. They don't accept you at all. Yes, Brian, would you like some Cool Whip?
But why are you saying it like that?
What am I saying? I'm saying Cool Whip.
Oh, you're saying Cool Whip.
Yes, I'm saying Cool Whip.
You're putting a lot of emphasis on the H.
No, Cool Whip. I'm saying Cool Whip.
Say cool.
Cool.
Say whip.
Whip.
But here's the thing, I'd never done anything like this, and I really enjoyed the whole process. But you've done quite a bit of it. Do you still enjoy doing voice work and things?
I love it. It's so, I don't know if anyone else, I don't know, Hugh, if you've ever done it, or Ramesh, but like, it's so freeing. Also, you just don't have to spend any time worrying about how you look. Like, they're gonna make you look cute. And I'm a much better actor when no one can see me.
Because you have done it. You did the Aardman film, the
Pirates. Yes, I did. I quite enjoyed it. The weirdest moment for me, I don't know if you've done this with this one, was I love a publicity tour when you're taking it around the world. Yeah. I always say, yes, please. You're not supposed to like that bit, but I love it. Private jet, nice hotel, take a couple of mates. And, but then I realised that in most of the countries we went to, we were watching the premiere, you'd be watching the film and it would be, I was a piece of plasticine and the voice was the local voiceover guy, so I wasn't in the film. And I was there all day doing interviews about it. So that is odd.
Because, Ramesh, you have joined the world of animation. You're in a really posh one. What?
Well, it's actually live action, but I'm an animated character. I mean, in Cinderella, they're doing a remake of Cinderella, so I'm playing one of the mouse footmen in that. So
pivotal.
My friend Kay Cannon directed
that.
that.
Kay Cannon, yeah. So Kay's brilliant, but it's a musical, and so the first. I know, Graham. You're absolutely. That face is absolutely right. They made a huge mistake. So my first day of working on the film was to go and lay down my vocals. It's the first time I met Kay and the whole team was to sing, and I turned up at this studio in London. And Kay said to me, "Oh, it's so good to meet you, Ramesh. Do you need to warm up your vocal cords at all?" And I went, "No, I think I'll be fine. This is as good as it's going to get." And then I went into the booth, and they had the musical director and all this, the execs and everybody there. And then they get me to sing some of like, I'd sing a bit. They go, "Can you do it like, go, Ramesh, we know you're not a singer, but just give this a go." And I did it. And then they would mute their conversation from the booth, and they'd just be like this. And then they'd come back and they go, "OK, that was really great. Could you do it again with a bit more like how we asked you to?" And then...
Are you sure you're in this film?
Well, I did it again, and then again the silence, and came back to me and said, "I'm going to play the piano and give you a guide." And then they did it again, and I had to do it, I reckon, 17, 18 times. I left that studio and I phoned my agent. And I said, "Just to let you know, you're probably going to get a call saying I'm not in this film anymore," because it went so badly. But they must have been desperate for diversity or something, because I stayed in.
Phew.
Thank God for those quotas.
Now, here's the thing. Jack Black, you've just got back from, is it Korea you were in?
I was in Korea and China, yeah. We went
doing Kung Fu Panda?
We were doing Kung Fu Panda promotion, yeah.
Because it does seem odd, because it's a cartoon.
Yeah. I know where you're going. Yeah. It's not my voice. They got a Chinese person doing the voice. It's not my face. It's a cartoon. Why am I there? Yeah. Okay, well, because I think it helps to have a bona fide Hollywood legend there. And then I do a high five to the Chinese actor, and I pass the torch, and I don't know why I'm there. But, it was a fun trip.
Yeah. Because have your children seen Kung Fu Panda?
I went to the first one. I took my godsons, Brooklyn Beckham, and all the Beckham boys, and we went to the Cinerama Dome in Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard, and we had a blast. And they were in the back of the car. There's Romeo, Cruz, and Brooklyn, and they said, "Uncle Elton?" I said, "Yes." "You write songs, don't you?" And I went, "Yeah." He said, "Sing us one." And I said, "What do you do?" And so I sang, "You wrote The Lion King?" "Oh, that's great. So sing a Circle of Life then." So it was fantastic, and the film was great. And it was just a great experience. It's such a fun movie.
No, they are brilliant movies.
Yeah.
And very quickly, there is but I don't know if you guys have talked about this, but you have a connection to James Bond.
Yes, I don't think she knows this.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so this is the very first time. Yes, yeah. So in You Only Live Twice, my grandfather was a baddie.
Oh, wow.
And he had this awesome fight scene. His real name was High Chief Peter Maivia, and he was a High Chief of Samoa, and he actually started his career here in England. Oh. And he was trained English style, and at that time in the 60s, I believe, English style wrestling was... there was a lot of what's called shoot wrestling, like derived from shoot fight, which eventually became MMA. Mm-hmm. So it was a very tough style of wrestling here in England. And yeah, so that's how he was trained.
And we've got that picture of him. Now, is this him as a wrestler? That is kind of like his stage gear, or is that him in Samoa?
That's him as a pro wrestler, but wearing his High Chief gear.
And is it true that in Moana, your character was based on him?
Sure, correct. So a lot of the details of that character, Maui, was based off of my grandfather with the long hair and very big build and tattoos. And in Polynesian culture and Samoan culture, to become a high chief, you have tattoos 360 degrees from your knees all the way up to the bottom of your chest. Everything. Wow. And it's hardcore, and they do it with a tat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything. No, not everything.
Well,
yeah, that's what I heard. I heard everything.
Yes.
Working around.
Well, the cash and prizes is lifted, and then you...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But because you've been in that film now, do you get sort of children wanting you to kind of delight them as Maui?
All the time. All the time. Like, it's constant. It's always constant. Oh, you sing your song. And I do it, and then they cheer, and then I go, say, okay, well, have a good day, and then sing again. Constant, yes.
He has a great voice, though.
Oh, thank you.
You should sing for them.
That's the last day.
I can't. I don't know if I don't.
That looked like a man who wants to.
I don't know. All right, let's see.
What's the music?
We'll just go right into the rap part, and this is what the kids love. So it's all right, listen, kid, honestly, I could go on and on. I could explain every natural phenomenon. The tide, the grass, the ground. Oh, that was Maui just messing around. I killed an eel and I buried its guts. Sprouted a tree, now you got coconuts. What's the lesson? What does it take away? Don't mess with Maui when he's on a breakaway. And the tapestry here on my skin is a map of the victories I win. Look where I've been, I make everything happen. Look at that me, mini Maui just tick-a-tick-tapping. Oh! Thank you.
That's so impressive.
Thank you.
Chris Rock, do you get kind of mobbed on the street?
Yeah, just by the Twilight fans, actually. They just run up and bite me. Twilight, bitch! What's that about?
Well, you must have a whole new group of kids who love you now.
Kids do love me.
Yeah.
Kids do love me, and I love them. Not in a Michael Jackson way. I know he's dead, but come on.
It's like that's all been forgotten.
Yeah.
That never happened.
Yeah, that's all. No. The kids love me because I'm Marty the zebra from Madagascar.
Yeah. So do you have to just stand there doing the voice for them?
I do the voice quite often. I had to go read for my daughter's class a couple of days ago. They have this thing called the mystery reader. It means every week one parent will read to the class. And last week I read Curious George Goes to the Hospital to my daughter's...
Beautiful story.
Yes, it's the greatest story of all time.
Yeah.
Anyway, the kids, I read the story, and then they were like, can you do Marty? Can you sing Afro Circus? And I'm just like... Anything for my child.
Oh,
You know.
Can anything ever top Toy Story, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh, dear. Oh, there we are.
There you are, but
there's Tim Allen, the voice of Buzz.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him, he was giving me an Oscar.
but the weird thing is that is so loved, but children, when they see you walking down the street, they don't know.
There are countless elevator rides. I'll be in the elevator, and a mother and child will get on, and the mother will say, "It's Woody!" And I'm saying, "It's Woody!" And the kid's going, And then the mother tries to explain, no, the voice is recorded. And the actor who is the voice, this is the actor. The kids just don't get it at all. They say, where's the vest? Where's the cowboy hat? You're not very tall. And so I say, all right, close your eyes. And they go, what? She says, just close your eyes. And the kid goes... And then I said, we got to get back to Andy's room right away, guys. And then they go, really love that. But the little kids are they're the best about it. They love it. They can't believe it.
But for you, it must be lovely to make a film in that way so that you can watch it like an audience member.
Oh, it's very hard work animating these films. Honestly, they are, because Woody, he's like this, and the recording sessions go on for 4 or 5 hours. So I always come out of recording Toy Story sessions. We're now recording Toy Story 4, so we're doing that. It'll be out in 2018, as a matter of fact. So it takes a long time. But my diaphragm gets a workout because the entire guys, come on! It's like, by the time I'm leaving, I'm driving home, and I literally have to put an ice chest on my diaphragm just so I can go home, because it's clenched throughout.
Wow. So Toy Story 4, that is...
We are working on it right now, yes. Yeah, well, I have a recording session on the 2nd of December.
I love that noise in the audience.
You know what? Somebody stuck a microphone in my face at some point in something. They said, is there going to be a Toy Story 4? And I said, yeah, I think so. And I got a call from the Disney lawyers the next day. said, you contractually are not allowed to discuss a Toy Story 4. It will affect the stock market price of the Disney common stock. So you are no longer, I said, hey, I'm sorry. But let me just point out, I'm Woody.
You know, I've seen so many of your films over the years, Matthew, and I feel like a moron, because it wasn't until you were coming on here that I realised that you, Matthew Broderick, are Simba in The Lion King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm adult Simba.
Yeah.
Adult Simba.
Which is an amazing thing to be.
Yeah.
You should talk about that more.
I should. That's the people who don't even ask about it, I should just say. Yeah, every now and then a father will come up and say, this is Simba. Say something. And they make me talk, and I talk, and the kid goes, I don't know what that is. Doesn't sound familiar, and I'd never heard of The Lion King.
But the connection is that you, Seth, are in the new Lion King.
I am. I'm Pumbaa in the new Lion King. Yeah. So.
The live action one?
The live action. I mean, yeah, it's a Disney, the big Disney, yeah, the one.
I mean, they call it live action, but they didn't train a warthog, did they?
No, and nor did I go around on all fours for motion capture or anything. Yeah, I do the voice of the warthog. It looks real. Disney likes to call it live action, and I will never disagree with the Disney Corporation. And therefore, if they want it to be a live-action Lion King, it's a live-action Lion King.
But Matthew, the odd thing is, after all these years, it isn't The Lion King. That isn't the film people come up to you about most.
Yeah.
What is it still?
Ferris Bueller, probably. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, they still remember some of the oldies, and that one's one of them.
And what do they say? Just like, I like that movie, or do they shout things at you?
They say, is this your day off? Hey, Matt.
Hey, your day off today.
Is your day off today?
I'll tell you what they say. It's your quote at the beginning of the movie. You know, sometimes, what is it exactly?
Life moves pretty fast. Sometimes you gotta stop and look around, I think is what it is.
Yeah. Look around or you miss the whole thing. So.
Yeah. There you are, yes.
Can I just tell you, for a moment when I saw that movie when I was young, and I mean this sincerely.
You would have been very young.
I've watched it multiple times. The movie is good when you're young and old. That's the cool thing about
one of the greatest films.
Performances. And you literally got me to start living my life to the fullest, just with that performance.
Aww.
So thank you very much. I've always wanted to say that to you. So.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you had
I think we should stop the show now.
Exactly,
We've had a lovely, genuine moment.
No one's ever said that about one of my movies. No one ever will. That will never happen.
It's downhill from here.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, you've just come... Is it Russia? You've just been in Russia doing the tour?
Yeah, 6 hours ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very fast.
Yeah. But you must... Because you speak Russian, don't you?
I do.
Is it one of those good things where people don't know you speak Russian?
Yeah, it is sometimes. It's pretty nice when, like, the driver has no idea that you actually understand everything that he's saying about you. And it's never really nice things anyways. So you kind of wait till the end of the drive to call him out on it. But, yeah, it actually has its benefits. I did learn the first time I did press in Russia how truly different the translation is. Like, people don't always translate the right way. Because I mean, my co-stars still get translations in their ears. It's never right. It was my first time. I was going, it's interesting.
Do they kind of bland out the questions?
Yeah. It's like an interpretation of the question. And sometimes it's worse and sometimes it's better, which is why it's always like a different answer at times. Yeah, it's weird.
But now, you were just a little girl when you left. It was the Ukraine you were born in.
Yeah, I was born in Chernovtsi, Ukraine. Big town, huge. And, have you heard of it? Weird.
You're huge there. You're huge there.
Huge. You're dench. God, that was just such a cheap shot to get a pause. It worked.
It worked. We've been doing it for an hour. Everything's been done.
But yeah, I came in '91.
Presumably, it would have been very easy just to lose the language living in the States.
Yeah. Yeah, but I speak Russian with my grandparents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my parents.
So still at home, you would speak Russian?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's quite a...
Oh, God, it is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, I didn't realize that until it was pointed out to me. But apparently,
Apparently it's a slightly harsh language, which to me it sounds very romantic. I mean, I think it's a great language, but I've been told it sounds like Klingon. Like, I'll talk to my dad, and he'll call and be like, how are you? And I'm like, I'm great. He's like, I miss you. And I'm like, I miss you too. How's mommy? He's like, mommy's great. But apparently, to most people, it sounds like... To me, it's just a lot of expression and passion. But yeah, it's a very... language.
Oh, it's so weird. I'm being slightly distracted because while you're talking, it's so... I mean, this must happen all the time, but I'm just hearing Meg from Family Guy, which... does that happen a lot?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Poor Meg.
Poor Meg.
Meg gets such a hard time.
I do get... The one thing that I get the most of is shut up, Meg, on the street. Like, people... all the time. I will walk down the street and be like, shut up, Meg.
That's funny.